D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I just finished Hawkeye episode 4. And let me just say right now, I really enjoy this show. I thought that I wouldn't enjoy it just because I haven't liked any of the Marvel shows so far. I think they all suck. But this one, I'm enjoying this one. I don't know why it is. I don't know what makes this one so different. I think it's more just because like it's a boots on the ground kind of. And I said this in my last reaction, but it's kind of just a boots on the ground kind of superhero story because these two don't have superpowers. And I think that I like that about it. But at the same time, I miss superpowers. Who doesn't, but yeah, no, so far I'm enjoying this show, especially this episode. That fight sequence at the end, which we'll get into when we get into the breakdown, was very good. We got to see Yalana show up, and that was good. Plus there was some funny moments in this one. And a little bit of revealing stuff. Like we got to see that watch again, which I have 2 questions about. Well, one's really more of like I think I know whose watch. I mean, it's Clint's wife. That's whose watch it is. Because they were setting that whole thing up. And then why did Echo have the watch? I mean, weren't they looking for the watch for Kingpin? So, or whoever they're going to give the watch to, yeah. So we'll get into that a little bit more when we get into this breakdown, which we'll do now. But before I get started, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine always get pushed to the back of the line. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. So now let's get started on this breakdown. So it started off right where we left off last episode. And that was with Jack, the swordsman, and he had the Ronin sword up against Clint's throat. Now, I thought there would be a big fight sequence here, but there wasn't, because Kate comes in, and then Mommy comes in, Vera Farmiga, and like, why is there's an Avenger in my house? And he's like, oh hey, it's the what did he go, the Archer, and he's like, Hawkeye. So they sit down and they have a little chit chat, and she's all like, oh my God, we're like best friends and everything. And he like really trusts me because I'm chill. And he's like, we're not best friends. She's not chill, kind of thing. And so she's all like, the mom is Vera Farmiga's character is all like, my security thing was broken into, what's going on? And she's like, we are looking into this case and everything. And Jack's like, thank you for saving the world and everything. And he's like, thanks, no problem. And mommy Kate here, Mommy Bishop, is all like, hey, you're my daughter, kind of thing. And she's all like, Clint, can I walk you out? Kate, you stay. We need to have a chat. So as she walks him out, she's all like, listen, I need you to stay away from my daughter because she's, basically she's my family. She's all I got. You have kids, right? I'm going to assume you do. You understand that I cannot lose her. I can't lose any more people and everything. And he's all like, I won't bother your daughter in this whole situation anymore. She's like, and then she says, so you'll drop the case? He's like, no, I'm not going to drop the case. I'm just not going to have your daughter be my sidekick anymore. And so he leaves and he texts his wife and it says, can you run Sloan LTD for me, please? And then Vera Farmiga's character makes a phone call and she leaves a message. She's like, hey, it's me. I need you to call me back. It's an emergency. And I was like, you're the bad guy in this whole situation. Maybe she's working with the Kingpin. I don't know. Cause I think the Kingpin is going to show up, but at the same time, I'm all like, maybe you won't, who knows? I don't know. But she's all like, I need you to call me back. It's emergency. And I'm all like, what's going on here? I think she's the bad guy. So then Clint gets a call from his wife and she is talking to him. And she mentions, she's like, anything else go missing from the compound? And he's like, you mean the watch? She's like, exactly. And his kids are all like, Dad's not going to show up, which I grabbed some screenshots, I think, of that. But I think it's her watch. It's her watch because she's all like, this is the thing. they're trying to be like subtle about stuff. Like they make you think Jack is the bad guy, and really it's probably Vera Farmiga's character. And they're trying to make it look like she's all like, just the doubting housewife, but she's the watch. And she spoke, I don't know what language this was because I don't know any other language except for English. I only took like one semester of Spanish, so I only know like a handful of things. But it wasn't English because they put subtitles on it and everything. So I don't know. I think maybe she was a Black Widow, but I don't know. We'll see what's going on here. But it's her watch, and it makes me go, what's going on here? So then, she's like, Dad's not coming home for another day. He's got to stay at work, kind of thing. So then they're sitting here talking, and she's like over listening to them because they're, right there. Which I don't like when people talk about people while they're sitting there. Like, why don't you just talk to them, kind of thing? So then she's all like, I need you to stop doing this kind of thing. But she's all like, I need you to help with the Bishop Christmas party kind of thing. And like her company and everything. And, people coming together with family during the holidays, no denominations, all that stuff. And she's like, you don't dance. And he's all like, are you and your mother dances very much these days? And he starts singing and kind of like, they're kind of playing and everything. And she sees that her mom's happy. Which is nice. I mean, like, this is the thing. I feel because she sees her mom's happy, but she's like, I think she's all like, well, what about Dad, kind of thing. And I get that kind of that whole mentality. Like, it's like you want your mom to be happy, but at the same time, you want her to mourn the loss of your dad forever. And I'm like, they can't though. People got to move on. So then Clint, he takes his wife advice because she's all like, put ice on your sores if you can. And so he puts these daiquiri things. I've had these before. They're delicious. They're so good. Although they put them in a blender. I didn't put them in a blender. I just put them in a cup and let them like melt until they got all slushy. Like I didn't even think about putting them in a blender. Anyways, so he gets a buzz and it's Kate. She's got pizza and Christmas decorations and all this stuff. And she's all like, you said it's movie marathon night. So we're going to watch movies and, get into the Christmas spirit. This scene took a little bit long because we only have 2 episodes left. It took a little bit too long. But at the same time, I liked it. I just liked it because I'm the kind of person, I love Christmas. I like holidays, but the stress of holidays, I don't like. I hate it. Like I hate driving to places and I hate, I don't know. Like I like decorations, but I hate decorating myself. Like I wish I could pay somebody to come to my house and put up all the Christmas decorations and everything. But I like playing to it because I'm like, I have kids and I have to pretend like I love putting up decorations. Like we're going to do gingerbread houses this weekend and I like it. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, this is such a waste of time for something we can't eat. Like I just want to eat the gingerbread house, but it's anyways. Okay. So they do this thing. She's all like I loved this thing where she sets up this thing and he's like, is that even a dry erase marker? And she's like, oh, and it's not, it's like a permanent one. It's so funny. So then she talks about the arrows and I like how she's like, and he's like, well, we don't have any more of those. And she's all like, we need to get some more. And then they're talking about boomerang arrows. And he's all like, boomerang arrows, but they would just come back and then you'd have to and she's like, yeah, but you have to dodge them. And he's all like, you don't see the problem in that? And she's like, listen, the tree covers up the marker. And he's like, see, there you are, troubleshooting kind of thing. And I was like, that's funny. I don't like this tree. I don't like the white trees and everything. I just like green. I have a fake tree. I don't like real trees because it's like a fire hazard if you don't keep it watered, for one. For two, everybody's all like, oh, I like them, they smell nice. I'm like, yeah, they smell nice, but then you got to take care of it afterwards. Like a fake tree, just put it up, put it back in the box when you're done. I like the fake ones over the real ones, but that's just me. You want the smell, get those aromatherapy things with the maple or whatever, the Christmas tree smell. Anyways, so they're sitting here talking and he gets this little thing. He's like, I could knock a man out from 20 feet away. And she's like, no, you can't, and everything. And he hits the thing and turns off the TV. Very cool. And she's like, you have to show me how you did that. So they do it and she finally does it. And that's great and everything. And then so they're sitting here and she's like, what's the best shot you ever did? And the one I never took. And we find out that he was sent to kill Natasha. And he didn't take the shot because he saw that it was the look somebody that wanted out, and he's the one that brought her in, kind of thing. And I really liked that a lot. I really wish that they would have done that with the Black Widow movie, with Clint Barton, and we would have saw all that, because they talked about Budapest, and nothing happened in Budapest. Like I mean, they just sat in a subway thing for a couple of days, and I'm all like, that's fine, everything. I just wish they would have shown that. Show don't tell. That's the whole thing about storytelling. So he goes off to sleep, but he remembers his Ronin days, and then he remembers Natasha. And we got this scene because it shows up later, which is really good with how they did it. So then next day, coffee time, and he's all like, listen, we got to ping on the arrows. The LARPers have the air. They can get the arrows because they're all cops and stuff, and first responders. So you're going to go to them and try to find out where if they can get those trick arrows, all the trick arrows. So then she goes to Central Park, and these LARPers are, I love LARPers. I love the whole world of it. I would get into it, but it's like, you got to spend money. You got to go to all this stuff. And I don't have the time and money for all that, for all these hobbies, which I love, but I love watching that stuff. I love the whole world of it. I love the character building, all that stuff. I love it, but it's just, I don't have time or money to get into that kind of stuff. I like a lot of geeky stuff, but it's like I said, money and time play a huge part in it. Anyways, so she goes and meets up with them, and I loved, she was all like, and one guy was like, ice ball. I loved it. It was so great. I loved this scene. So then she goes and she talks to him. She's like, are any of you a cop? And this woman's like, I'm a cop and everything. She's like, well, I need you to do some evidence tampering. And basically she's like, I need you to go get my the trick arrows. And they're like, what are you going to give us, kind of thing. So then when she's doing that, he goes and talks to this guy. And he's all like, listen, Echo's not doing her thing. You've been working for all these people, so you can see that she's got to give up the Ronin thing, because the Ronin thing is not going to pan out. And I liked this. I think he's going to come up to be a bigger bad guy than we know before and everything, because I don't think Ronin killed her dad. I don't, it might have been this guy, but how did he get the suit? Interesting. Okay. Anyways, so then back at her apartment, Clint comes back, and I like this because he's like, I sent you to get arrows, not put on a play, kind of thing. And she's all like, you guys can make our costumes for us and everything. She's like, I can get you materials or whatever. And I was like, maybe that could be our deal. He's like, what deal? And that's when he does the thing. He gets a text from his wife, and it says, the Rolex wasn't destroyed at the Avengers compound. The transmitter is signaling from the location, and then gives the address. Godfrey, that's a street by me. Anyways, so then the cop shows up, and she's all like, you didn't bring your own bag? And she's like, this is my personal bag. My wife got this engraved for me. It says bombshell on it, which she looks great, by the way. But I just want to say, you know how easy it is to get a bag engraved? Like, it's not even that hard. Like, you just go online now and get it. You could order one offline for like $20 now. So, but I get it. It's from her wife. I get it. But, and she's like, I promise we'll get your bag back to her, which I hope they do. Keep your word. And you could see on her face, like, how bummed she is about that. Plus, like, they can't get a different bag. Like, somebody else doesn't have a different bag, or grab a grocery bag. Like, come on, you guys. You're just going to take them out of that bag in like 2 seconds anyways, while you're on top of this roof. So they're on top of this roof, and she's all like, we need to be higher up. And he's like, no, this is the perfect place or whatnot. So he's like, I'm going to go in. It's going to take me 3 minutes to get in. And then, find the stuff, get the stuff and everything. And then he turns around and he's all like, where'd you go? And she's like, in the street. And he's all like, all right, you're going to use your grappling hook to get up on the thing. And she's all like, nope, we're going a different way. She helps this old man with his groceries. And while they're on the elevator, she's all like, and he's like, did you say something? She's like, oh, I'm not talking to you. I have an Avenger in my ear and everything. And he's like, I'm good now. Thank you. So then she goes up to the door. She goes in, she's looking out, and some flashing lights go off. And she hits this with the goop one. And then that one, I can't remember what that one was. Maybe that one was a goop one too. And she's looking through some stuff, and she finds the watch. And then she also finds a list of Clint's family. And she's like, somebody's in your house and everything. And he's all like, yo, get out of there. The flashing lights are for deaf people. This is Echo's house or apartment. and she hits her and he gets attacked also. And she's like, hey, why didn't you give me a heads up that Echo was here? And he's like, I did. And she's like, well, she's here fighting me. And he's like, well, if she's there, who am I fighting? And he is fighting a masked person, which we find out it's Yalana. And Kate's getting her butt kicked here, but then he shoots a grappling, a zip line from the two apartments. She gets on and she gets stuck in midway through, which I thought was great. I thought that was funny. And she's like, oh, shoot, kind of thing. I thought that was great. It was really funny. But then Yalana pulls on it and she comes zipping down the rest of the way. And so Yalana is trying to get Clint, but to do that, she has to fight off Kate and Echo. But Kate and Echo are fighting because Echo wants Clint also, but she's trying to fight Kate, kind of thing. And this was a really good fight sequence. I really enjoyed it a lot. My favorite part was when Yalana, it was like watching a ballet, you guys. Like, it was so good. She whipped around Kate, and then this part right here. Okay, so she grabs her. And I don't want to hold on. I want to talk about my favorite part real quick because I don't think I grabbed a screenshot of it, but she like grabs Kate and then does the thing, and then she grabs Clint by the waist and does this like thing, almost Matrix like bend, but she's got a hold of it. It was so cool. I wish I would have grabbed a screenshot of it, but it wouldn't have done it justice. Anyways, she hooks Kate by the belt and then throws her over the roof of the rooftop. And she falls down and Clint runs to her and he does this little thing. And it was so reminiscent of Natasha. I was like, oh, that's so good and everything. And she's just dangling there. Now, I think this says a lot about Yalana that she hooked her with the thing. Like she didn't want her to kill her, but she wanted her out of the way. And she's sitting there and she's all like dangling and she's all like, pull me up. And he's all like, go home, and he cuts her free and she lands on these things and sits on them. But she's like, I'm not going home, and she takes the stairs up back up to the roof. I thought that was good. So then they're fighting and Echo's trying to get him, but Yelena's all like, no, sister. She shoots her with her little taser things, which I didn't get a screenshot of. I wish I had. And then Kate shows up and she shoots this big sonic blast arrow, which I thought was very cool. More trick arrows. I love the trick arrows. They're so good. And they're all like, my hearing and everything, except for her, because I don't think she can hear. And she bumps her off or whatever. I thought she was going to fall in between these buildings. I was like, oh, and everything, but it didn't happen. And she shoots her with an arrow and she blocks it out, and then she runs away. And then Yalana and them are fighting. But while they're fighting, he pulls off her mask. Oh, he pulls off her mask, but she shoots him with a taser thing. And then she turns around and Kate is pointing a thing. And Yalana just looks at her and she's like, don't do it, sister. Do not do it. And everything. And she drops her bow and arrow, and Yalana shoots a thing into the ground, and then she jumps over. It was so cool when she jumped off. She was all like, boom. And I was like, oh, that was so good and everything. It was like a Black Widow dive kind of thing. It was very cool. And she's all like, who was that? And he's all like, this is not good. And she's like, you have to tell me we're partners. He's like, we're not partners. Never were. He's like, somebody ordered a Black Widow assassin. This just got real quick. And he's like, you need to go home. We're done. We're done working together. And he's all like, go home, Yalana. Go home, Kate. And that's where it ended. And you can see the seriousness on his face because he's all like, this is real stuff right now. We can't be doing this anymore. This is no longer playtime. And Yalana, of course, she's working for Val, Vala Contesta, whatever her name is, by Julia Louis-Dreyfus from after Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But these two, this was a very good episode. I really liked it a lot. I thought it was very good. I can't wait to see where this goes. And I really like, again, I think that I like this because they don't have superpowers, but at the same time, I like the superpowers. So I don't know. I think the writing on this show is very good. It's very good. I'm kind of bummed that Swordsman didn't have a fight towards the at the beginning there, because that would have been super cool. And I'm very curious to see where this goes, and just in so many terms of like, who's the bad guy, what's gonna happen. You know, oh, and we're gonna get the suits, you know, from the one people, what's their faces, the LARPers. So yeah, I'm very excited for the next episode. I can't wait to see what they do. Just because, like, yeah, that's my thoughts. I'm super excited for this this next episode. Can't wait. I love all of it. Yelena's gonna show up again. I hopefully for the last 2 episodes also. And I can't wait for that big fight sequence in that 30 Rock square place or whatever that we saw in the trailers, where they're just like, they've got their, both of them are in that little square, and they're just, because, you know, Kate's not done, and he's all like, go home, Kate, but I'm all like, you're not gonna send her home, because and I'm just and I can't wait for the big reveal of Mommy Bishop being the bad guy. I can't wait. And seeing if she fights and all that. It's gonna be so good. I can't wait for all of it. All right, so tell me, what did you guys think about this episode? Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? You know, who do you think the big bad guy is? Will we see Kingpin? You know, who else are we going to see on this show? Because I just can't wait. I really do like this show. I just haven't liked any of Marvel TV shows, but this one, I am here for it. I'm excited for the next episode. All right, that's my breakdown. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know, I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. I will see you guys on my next Hawkeye breakdown and review. You guys have a good day. Bye.